Hi, all you SPMEs out there. Today's video has 3 points, and you're going to want to stick around because the third point is a secret as to the exact perfect length for your self-published book if you want to maximize sales. So you're going to want to stick around for that. So let's get into it. Today's video is on how long should a self-published book be? Now, this is a very common question that I hear all the time from my students and from generally authors everywhere. You're writing your book and you're wondering, well, is this long enough? Are people going to want to read it? If it's too long or if it's too short, that might create problems for your readers. And then you're pushing out additional pages when maybe it's not necessary. Or maybe your book is too short and people won't end up wanting to buy it, and you get it out onto the market and then make no sales with the book. And so you wonder what exactly should be the correct length for your book. So let's get into it. This is Chris Baird from selfpublishingmadeeasynow.com, where self-publishing doesn't have to be so hard. So hit the subscribe button if you find this video useful and you would like for me to make more videos just like this one. And check out below in the description, you can grab a copy of my absolutely free self-publishing checklist to make sure that you are not skipping any of the steps that you need to be doing in order to win the self-publishing game. So let's get into it. When I first got started, I wrote my first book and I was shooting for 15,000 words. Now, I think it may have been 12,000 or somewhere in there. I can't remember. But I put the book on the market, and I also wrote a free giveaway in that first book that was only, I don't know how many words, maybe 3,000 or 4,000 words long, but it was like a freebie to get people on my email list. So that was my initial plan. But then some things happened. I started listening to other people and they said longer books are better. Now, one of the guys I was following at the time, he had written a 35,000 word book and he said it didn't really sell that much more. But I thought on my second book, I would come out with a 20,000 word book. And so I put that on the market and it did become an Amazon bestseller. It was on sleep and helping you improve your sleep. And the thing was, it was there for a period of time and even came back up as a #1 Amazon bestseller. And so I did see a great deal of success with regards to that book, but I'm not sure it was the length. It may have been the topic, because I was getting a little more clever on the understanding which keywords should be used and the target audiences. The thing was that I was curious if shorter books actually would sell. So I ended up taking my free book that I was giving away and then also putting it onto the market, about 3,000 words. And what did I discover? I found these shorter books actually were outperforming the longer books. Even to this day, many times my short book on email management actually outperforms my sleep book or goals book and these other ones. And so I was completely shocked by that. The shorter books had better sales than the longer books. But the thing that I discovered, it was that there are different audiences and they have different expectations. So I made the mistake of aiming for too many different audiences. It makes it really hard to optimize for one. As I just mentioned, I had books on how to sleep better, how to achieve your goals. There was lots of things that I find interesting. And so I was writing about these books that were subjects and things that I've spent a lot of time thinking about. And the thing is that over a period of time, I still am getting sales in all of these books, but I probably would have done even better if I just stuck with one niche and really pounded into that niche, establishing myself as an expert on that one thing as opposed to multiple things. So let's get into it. The question is, how long should a self-published book be? Well, the first thing is most self-publishing experts would agree it should be between 15,000 and 30,000 words long. But this as the ideal length, but I can make a quick comment on this one, and that is that it depends, and this is the thing, what your audience expects. And one way to know is, what are the best sellers in your niche? How long are they? Now, there's two options here. One of them is shooting for the exact same length or the average length of the best sellers in your niche, and that generally will work for most authors. And the second strategy is doing short books, but making it clear to the readers that they're really short. But the thing is that I still see my books that are at 3,000 words selling, since they are paperback books. So you have to be at least 3,000 words to get to the paperback. And this is a amazing strategy. And then you can bundle these things together to make them up to 100 pages. Does that make sense? So in other words, 3,000 words will give you a 24-page book. If we have 4 of these books bundled together, so you have 2 and 2 on the same subject, you'll have a 100-page book as a 4 bundle. And that also gives you the audiobooks. And that was what I discovered, was the audiobooks were making more money than even the paperbacks, or just pulling in an insane amount of money. And so these short books actually had some advantages. Now, there's a whole series of strategies upon if your book is so and so long. On audiobooks, people love to read really long audiobooks. I found even cookbooks sell on Audible. And so the length of your book will have an impact on these different things. So let's get to the secret answer for today's question, and it is the exact correct length. And the answer is you should test out different lengths and not be stuck with one specific length for your books. That would be a huge mistake if you were to just stick with a particular length and say, okay, I've got the right length. I'm not going any longer or any shorter than that. I would say no. Find out for your niche what exactly is currently selling. Your readers will not complain. And there was an issue with this, by the way. You can get bad reviews if you have a really short book. But at the same time, I've had lots of people say, look, I was interested in this subject, and when I read your short book, it really helped me get into it quickly. And it's not deceptive because it's listed. On the listing for the book, you can see how many pages the book is. So if you think you're going to get a 1,000-page book, you might go and look first. But you do risk bad reviews for these short reads. But sometimes they fall under the phrase even on Amazon as short reads, so that your reader won't be too disappointed if they buy a book and it's short. But then again, it's also pretty cheap. And as I've mentioned before on pricing, we still only want to make $5 per book that we sell. The shorter the book, the lower the price is going to be. But make sure your profit is at least $5 a book, never less than that for your paperbacks. And for your other ones, it's $2 for your Kindle books. So that is like a baseline profit margin that we want to make on those books. We put as many books out onto the market as we're writing them, or you're paying for ghostwriters to write books, targeting these keywords on subjects for which we may not be experts on, and then going from there and shooting for either, I would say, 3,000 words or whatever the average is for your niche. And my biggest mistake, again, was that I did not stick to one niche. I was in, 10 different niches or 15 niches, some crazy number of niches. But the thing was I didn't stick to a single one, because then it would have given me that ability to build more expertise, and also using email list leveraging. Lots of things that you don't know until you get started. And that's one of the reasons why it's so important for you to get your book onto the market right away. So my question for you is, how many pages are in your books? I want to know. Tell me below in the comments, and check up above me here for more video answers to your self-publishing questions. Thanks.